Welcome everybody to the NYG Blue Zone. I'm Attikis here with my daughter Stella for the Daddy Daughter Podcast.
Hi guys.
We got a lot of things to talk about today. The Giants
Yeah, we
opened the
do.
season. Yes, we do. The Giants opened the season last week against the Washington Commanders. This week, the Giants are going to be playing the Dallas Cowboys in Dallas. But before we get into all of the games and stuff, Stella, how you doing?
Good. I actually just lost 2 teeth right there, so now my smile's a
Wow.
little now my smile's a little incomplete, but it's fine. It's a little silly,
That's
but
okay.
how are you doing?
So you losing teeth, but the tooth fairy going to fill your pockets, right?
Yep. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm over all of the pain that I felt from that devastating defeat that we suffered last week against the Washington
Ugh,
Commanders.
I know,
But
right?
yeah, we got a lot to talk about with that game. I mean, Abdul Carter played his first game as a New York Giant in the regular season, and I think he played pretty well. Kayvon Thibodeau, Brian Burns, they both played really well, those edge rushers. Brian Burns had 2 sacks, but you know who was missing from the defensive pressure this past week? Dexter
Um,
Lawrence.
yeah.
I really thought we would see more pressure from him this week.
I know, right?
Yeah. What were some of the topics that you were hoping to talk about today with that game?
Um, I want to talk about like the Giants made it in the red zone a couple times, like goal line opportunities, touchdowns, they kicked field goals.
They could have scored some touchdowns, but as many times as they got into the red zone, and I think they had like 13 offensive plays where they were right at the goal line, had an opportunity to score touchdowns, and walked away with only scoring field goals. That's very disappointing.
I know.
And
Guys,
it
I'm gonna put
seems
a
like
surprising emoji. Wait.
you put your surprise in the mode because that's how I felt all
Did you see
day
it?
Sunday.
Did
No,
you
we
see it?
can't see it, unfortunately.
Aw.
But for the Giants to be so effective in the preseason, putting up 35 points, 40 points, and then you get into the first game of the regular season and you can't even score a single touchdown. That was disappointing to say the least.
I know. Okay, well, let's talk about Russell Wilson's performance.
How'd you think he
Um,
did?
he did pretty good. He got 17 of 37 passes for 168 yards, and he got
Yeah,
no touchdowns
right.
and was under a lot of pressure.
Tons of pressure. The offensive line did not play well. You know, when we don't have Andrew Thomas on the field, it's really bad. Teams know it, they take advantage of it. But the truth of the matter is, Hudson, who came in to replace Thomas during this injury, he played okay. Not great, but okay. And then Jermaine Illuminor, the guy you've met a few times, Stella, he
I
played
met him like
really well.
twice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he played really well from the right tackle position, but the center and the guards, they just let too much pressure come up on Russell Wilson. And that's why his numbers weren't as well as we hoped, right? And then the other thing, Stella, he's so short, and we talked about this during the draft and free agency period when the
wait,
Giants were looking at what's that?
how tall is he?
I think he's like 5'10".
He's
I
shorter
mean,
than you.
yeah, he just doesn't have the height to see over these
He's like
offensive guards and tackles.
he's like my sister's height.
I know. And I think that that's probably a weakness, He's under too much pressure. There was a couple of plays where he tried to sidearm the ball in, and I don't think he was able to see some wide open receivers down the field. There was one play where Darius Slayton got wide open. I mean, there was a little bit of pressure from the rush, but I thought that at that point, the pressure he was feeling, they weren't going to get to him, but he was so rattled all game long, he felt like he had to scramble and get rid of the ball. But I don't think he played that well. But here's what I'm going to say: it wasn't Russell Wilson's fault that the Giants did not win that game, but he didn't play as well as I hoped he'd play either.
No. But also he also ran 44 yards, and
Yeah.
that was like some of the better running plays that he had. But the rest of the offense didn't get going that well,
No. I mean,
and the
I,
offensive coaching, Dad said it wasn't that good.
no, it
So
wasn't. What's crazy
and
is the coaching was really good during the
yeah,
preseason.
and they barely even focused on the defense. Well, Brian Dable.
I know it was disappointing all around. I mean, from the lack of production from the tight end position, Theo Johnson dropping balls all over the place. I think that Daniel Bellinger needs to get more play. He's really good at catching the ball. He's probably not the best in run blocking, but he catches the ball when you throw it in his direction. Theo Johnson just kept dropping passes. God, he made me so sick to be that talented.
I
Catch the
know.
ball. Oh my
Just
God.
catch the ball.
Very disappointing. Very disappointing. But I think that Wandale Robinson, honestly, if it wasn't for some of the effort that he put on the field, Cam Scatterbo looked really good when he came on the field. I think it might have been a much uglier game. And you talked about the defense a little bit, Stella. The safeties, the corners, they did not play well at all. And the
Mm-mm.
Giants weren't stopping the run. We talked about how Dexter Lawrence, he was not playing like himself. Usually, me and you were watching the game and we're like, do the sexy Dexy because he just got another sack. Where was he?
I don't know. Maybe he was feeling a little different because it was his first game of the season, and he had a couple new players with him. I don't
Yeah, but
know.
he got to play better than that because we won't win
Yeah,
many games if he puts
if
that type of production on the field.
if we're gonna win, and we need to show better defense, and Dexter Lawrence needs to be doing so much better.
I know. I know. And if his intensity was able to match what Abdul Carter, Kayvon Thibodeau, and Brian Burns put on the field, I can't even imagine how opposing offenses will be able to run the ball or throw the ball under that much pressure. So we really need him to show up next week.
Yeah, we do. He needs to do so much better, especially since we're going against Dallas. We haven't won a game against them since I was 4, and I'm
Oh
10
my
now.
God. That's tragically heartbreaking. Yeah, we really need to beat Dallas. I don't know with what the Giants put on the field this past week. I just saw a team that felt defeated come the third quarter, and surprisingly enough, come halftime, it was still come halftime, the Giants were still in the game, and they still couldn't put it together. But you're right. Dallas is next week. Let's talk about the Dallas game. Um, what do you think? You think we got a chance to beat Dallas? I mean, Dallas opened their season playing the Eagles, and not for nothing, Dallas did not look bad in their season opener. They were
I
playing the
don't
Super Bowl
know.
champion Eagles. The Eagles looked better than them, but they went toe to toe. These guys ran up and down the field and scored points back and forth, and it wasn't until the
I
third
know
quarter
this.
that things started getting out of hand. Do you think the Giants can regroup, perform better on offense and defense, have a competitive game, and come away with the win?
Mm, I don't know. I don't really know. Oh gosh. I The preseason was really good, but the game against Washington was not so good. But see, the first game we did was good. This is the hard part when you win the first game of the regular season, and then you lose the second game, and then you have the third game, and you're like, oh gosh, is our team gonna win, or they're not gonna win? So honestly, I don't really know. So it's probably like a 50-50, but
Well,
I'm
I'll
kind
tell
of
you
leaning
what.
towards Dallas winning, honestly.
Yeah, as a diehard Giants fan, season ticket holder, I live and die wearing big blue, right?
Yeah.
To play as poorly as we did in our first game of this season against Washington, and seeing how well, even in defeat, Dallas played against a better caliber team in the Philadelphia Eagles, I have very little confidence because the Giants simply haven't shown me that they can put together a complete game, that
Mm-mm.
we can go to Dallas and win this game. Do I hope we win? Obviously, I hope we win. But
Yeah.
do I think we can win with our offensive line? No, I do not. Do I think we can win if we make the same plays? If Mike Kafka calls the same style of offensive game that he did against Washington? No, I do not.
No.
I think that Dallas just has a little bit more talent. I believe Dallas is more talented than Washington in different packages. So I think that they are better equipped to beat us. Now, that doesn't mean that the Giants aren't going to shift and pivot from what they did against Washington and come with a different game plan against Dallas. I just don't know if we have enough to win. And I don't want to sit through another 3 hour game that is completely unwatchable football,
And like,
So
I
I don't know.
really hope we win this game. If we don't, um, yeah, we won't be doing so well, and that'll really start us off to a rough, rough season.
Yeah, we got
But
experience with that.
um, let's talk about the Giants' rushing game from last game. The running backs and the rushing plays need only 74 yards on 23 attempts.
Yeah, you know, not only could they not throw the ball effectively against Washington, but they weren't able to pass the ball. I mean, run the ball effectively. And you talked about Russell Wilson having 44 rushing yards. Those rushing yards were primarily on scramble plays where the pocket broke
Mm,
down and he was running for his life. They were not design runs for Russell Wilson. So that's pretty bad when your quarterback ran for
He,
44 of the 74 yards we got, and you had 23 attempts at running the ball. Like Tyrone Tracy Jr. was on a milk carton missing, right?
yeah,
Uh,
that says a lot.
Devin Singletary, where was he? And honestly, they just gave him runs to keep him on the field. I'm not even sure why. And then Cam Scatterbo, he looked really good, but there was Embo missed a block and Scatterbo ran right into his offensive lineman. It was just like it was a hard watch. So yeah, I don't
Oh
know.
yeah, and just a quick reminder, and I want to talk about something. Um, Make sure you guys hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell so you get notified every time we upload. And guys, comment down below if you like our new intro video.
Yeah, I thought it came out great.
Yeah. Okay. And yeah. Anything else you want to say about that topic?
No, let's move on to next week's game. I think that I don't want to revisit that debacle of a game that we had against Washington. Let's turn the page, move on, talk about
Yeah.
Dallas, what we expect to
Yeah.
happen, and keep it pushing.
Before we do that, I forgot to wear some Giants stuff. It's tape. It has the Giants thing on it with some red. So yeah, and I
I
put this
like
on.
it. I
So
like it.
yeah.
Big blue.
Okay. All right, let's continue.
All right,
Um,
let's do that.
so, um, sorry. Despite the loss, Coach Brian Dable confirmed that Wilson will start again versus Dallas. There's still pressure, and people are watching closely to see if the offense improves because it really does. Like, I'm sorry, but what was that last game? What was that?
You know what it looked like? It looked like a team that was not prepared to play. That's what it looked like. And I thought the Giants with Russell Wilson would look a lot better than they did. But it kind of felt like, I don't know, Stella, it looked like the Giants were having the same problems at the quarterback position with Russell Wilson in there that they had with Daniel Jones. And what that tells me is that Daniel Jones was less of the problem than we or people were saying he was. I thought Daniel Jones, and still do, is a decent quarterback. The Giants made him look so much worse. So everybody's saying Jackson Dart looked great in the preseason. Take Russell Wilson out and put him in. And then some people said put Jameis Winston in and take Russell Wilson out. What do you think about that?
Oh boy. Honestly, I think it's okay.
Which is
Not bad.
okay.
To put Jameis Winston in, but because I think it's good to start like new because he hasn't been our starting quarterback yet. Well, maybe he has. Maybe I just wasn't paying attention. But
No, he
I
wasn't.
don't think so. Okay, yeah, so I don't think so. So I think let's change it up and see how he does. And then if he doesn't do too good, we can bring him back to where he was.
We could do that, but my mindset is as ugly as the first game was, it was still just the first game. And I don't want to overreact to the team looking as poorly as they did. I don't think that one game is enough time for Russell Wilson to lose his job. I think if Russell
No,
Wilson poops the bed this week against Dallas, that
poops the bed.
you at least got to think about it. Like, and then if you think about it and you say, you know what, Russell Wilson went out there against Dallas. Hypothetically, he goes out there against Dallas and he scores no touchdowns for us again, and it's unwatchable football again.
Yeah,
At
that'd be
that
bad.
point, yeah, that would be really bad. And at that point, you at least have the discussion: do we remove Russell Wilson and install a new quarterback under center? And if you do you put Jameis in there, or do you put your draft pick, the guy who you have banked your careers on at this point? Like, he is the crown jewel of every draft pick you've selected, Brian Dable and Joe Shane, Jackson Dart. Do you put him in, knowing that after Dallas, the Giants are playing the Kansas City Chiefs on Monday Night Football? I don't know if you want to do that. I don't know if you want to do that.
Oh goodness.
I know.
Oh yeah,
So,
I made something. Oops, the bed. Poop in a bed.
hey, listen, Russell could poop the bed, but I'm starting to feel like the quarterbacks in New York have not been the problem. Daniel Jones went to Indianapolis Colts and he broke history. He was the first quarterback in the Super Bowl era to engineer a scoring drive every time he got the ball in
Yeah,
NFL history. The
and
quarterback that they ran out of New York last year.
mm, and there's something I want to talk to you guys about at the end of the video, so I'm gonna write that down really quickly, but make sure you guys stay tuned to hear it. And stay tuned for the rest of the video because it's gonna get really good.
So I don't know. I don't think that it's time to change the quarterback. I think that There's a lot of overreaction going on. Yeah, he looked like poo. But like I said, if he poops the bed again next week, we're gonna be talking about it again next week. But I don't know. We'll see.
Definitely. And I kind of want to talk about next game. I'm gonna be looking at Tay Banks a little bit and seeing if how he's doing or if he's getting any better.
Well, any playtime because the Giants didn't even play him against Washington. I, I don't even know what to take from that. He was on the bench all game long, so you got your wish.
Okay, that says a lot about him. Do you think he's
Mm-mm.
feeling sad or bummed out?
I would probably feel sad if I was the Giants' number one draft pick, and 2 years later I'm riding the bench. But here's the other thing I'm gonna say about that. Paulson Adebo did not play much better in his absence. Our secondary did not look good last week. So him riding the bench, not on the bench, I don't know if the Giants would have looked any better. Does he feel sad? Probably, but the whole defense should feel sad based on their performance last week.
Yeah. Um, they should. And the offense also needs to get back. I don't know. It was just our own whole team that was just not like cooperating. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, they haven't looked good. It's tough to be a Giants fan right now because you keep getting this feeling that they're gonna play well this week. They're gonna do better. Like you seen all of these things in training camp and preseason that gave you all of this hope that the season was gonna unfold in a much different way. And what we've been left with is just disappointment again. So I don't know, but
Yep.
let's see. Let's see what happens next week.
Yeah. Let's see. And I think the Giants need better red zone
Efficiency.
efficiency. Efficiency. Yes, I can't speak.
They do. Like we talked about it from the Washington game. They had the ball for 13 offensive plays in the red zone. That's 13 opportunities to score a
To get a
touchdown,
touchdown.
and they walked away with
Jinx.
3 points. 3 points. That's disturbingly bad. That's a statistic. In fact, last year when they were in the red zone, they were really good with their red zone offense. This year, oh my God, it's abysmal. Let's hope that this game is an anomaly, that this isn't what we can expect to happen every game for the rest of the year, because I would rather paint my entire house with a Q-tip instead of watching Giants football if it's going to look like this first game.
I don't
That's what
think
I'd
I've
rather
ever
do.
heard you say that before.
Yeah, that's how bad it is. Yeah,
Paint your whole house with a
with a,
Q-tip?
can you imagine?
No.
And we have a big house.
Um. Also, Dallas is in America, right?
Well, sometimes we wish they weren't. In fact, I'm not even going to go there, what I was going to say. But yeah, Dallas is in Texas.
So, oh yeah, I forgot about that. So on my globe, we will be
Bring out the
playing
globe.
where we live. Hold on, it might take a second to find America on this thing. In fact, I might just end up giving up. Oh, here it is.
Well, the light
America?
makes it hard
Oh
to
my
watch.
gosh. Yeah, you can't see
Makes it hard
anything.
to
I'm
see.
sorry. Okay, it looked like a glowing ball of orbs. I don't know. Okay, so America right here. We're playing
Mm-hmm.
somewhere down here in
Yeah.
Texas. Yeah, in
Somewhere right down
Texas.
there near Mexico.
I feel like a magician with my glowing orb. Okay, so yeah, I don't know why I did that. I just wanted to bring up my globe, because why
No,
not?
that was cool. So we learned some geography, and at the same time, we're talking about football and Tay Banks and his feelings. So,
Yeah. um, just looking at my notes.
okay. What you got next in your notes?
The Cowboys secondary is weakening.
Mm. Yeah, Deron Bland. He is the best corner that Dallas has right now, and he's going to be out. They do have Trayvon Diggs, who was dealing with an injury, and I believe he's coming back. I think he actually played a little bit last week. In fact, he did. And he didn't make any splash plays, but I'm going to say he may have been effective because the Eagles didn't have a huge game passing the ball. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, their top receiver, Brown, only had one reception last week. So that kind of says something about his play. But yeah, if he's going to be out, the Giants have an opportunity to attack their secondary and get the ball down the field. Can Russell Wilson throw the ball deep to Malik Neighbors? Can he do that? Will he do that? Can he get the ball to Darius Slayton? Like you got these players who are starving to catch deep balls and score touchdowns from long distance touchdowns from deep inside the opponent's deep inside their own territory. Can we try it at least? I'd like to see it, especially
Daddy,
knowing that what.
you look really funny. You're like,
Can we try it? I mean, for goodness sakes, throw the ball, right? Throw the ball. So throw the ball down the field. You know that Dallas is hurting in the secondary. Give your guys a chance. That's all I'm gonna say about the Cowboys' weak secondary.
okay. All right, moving on. Um, let's talk about the defensive matchups. Can the Giants pressure Prescott? That rhymes. Pressure Prescott. When you're saying
It does
pressure
rhyme.
Prescott.
So that's a good question, and I think the Giants absolutely can pressure Dak Prescott. You've got, like I talked about, Kayvon Thibodeau, Brian Burns. You got Abdul Carter. Dexter Lawrence should have a better game. And then we got Darius Alexander, who we drafted early in this last year's draft. I think the Giants are well equipped to put good pressure on Dak Prescott. Also, the Dallas Cowboys offensive line has been weakening. I forget who it was. Maybe it was Ferguson. Somebody on the Dallas offensive line retired this year. So they are not the same group of guys. They allowed a lot of pressure to get to them from the Eagles. Granted, the Eagles have one of the top pass rush defenses in the league. The Giants are supposed to have one of the top pass rushing defenses in the league, too. Can they get to pressure Prescott? Absolutely, they can. Will they? That remains to be seen. I can't hear you. Are you muted?
Sorry. Quick question. Who won the Dallas and Eagles game again?
The Eagles won, but they didn't blow them out. It was a pretty close game until the end of, I think it was the middle of the third quarter. They had a delay. They had a lightning delay, and the lightning delay, it probably had Dallas players get colder than it did Phillies players because Philly came out hot. Dallas fell asleep, and the game kind of ended quickly. But Philly made more plays than Dallas did to end that game, so they won that game.
Good. See, now, I gotta show you guys something really quickly, okay?
Show us.
Hold on. So, are any of you. Hold on. This might be funny.
Kind of notes were you taking today?
Okay, so how do you guys feel against playing a trash can? You see that beautiful, I mean, ugly, ugly trash can. You know, Dallas, that trash can right here. That's Dallas. You saw that? How do you feel against playing against that? Like, I don't know. I'm kind of scared though if we're gonna, win or lose.
Yeah, we haven't had a lot of success against Dallas. over the last, I don't know, 6 years, 7 years. It's really been disappointing, especially when you know the Giants have a lot of talent, and that's the thing that gets me. Like, if you look at the Giants on paper, the different players who are on this team, we have better talented players on this team than we have on many other teams that have looked better than us. And I can't quite understand it. And what that points to for me is the coaching has been inadequate. Player development has not worked out the way that we hoped it would. The coaching hasn't worked out. Scheming and game planning against other teams hasn't worked out. So even though you were right to point out Dallas looks like a trash can, that trash can has been very effective at beating us for the last 6 years. Hopefully, we can stop that this Sunday. Hopefully.
Man, how does trash can beat a person? You see this green right here? This is a person. They're just like, we're just like putting all our stuff on them, and they're just like, wait, they're just like, boom, and we just lose against the trash can.
Yeah, we need to put it together, be effective, play together. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I'm excited about the game either way. Hopefully, we'll win. I don't know.
Yeah, hopefully. We have one more thing to talk about. We're going to talk about the injuries and the players to watch on the Giants. Like, Malik Neighbors is expected to be a full participant next game.
Yeah, he left with a he had like a slight back issue to start the game. It's been lingering, but he's going to be playing. Andrew
Yeah.
Thomas, I don't know if he's going to be back yet. We really
Yeah,
need him on the offensive line.
Andrew
And then,
Thomas, left tackle, and is returning from a Lisfranc surgery.
yeah, he has surgery.
And
And
it will definitely affect his pass protection.
yeah, but you know what? Like James Hudson, like I said, James Hudson is not a starting left tackle, but I wasn't really too mad about how he played this past Sunday in Andrew Thomas's absence. In fact, he gave up a couple of pressures. They called him on a penalty for a hold, which was not a hold. That was a bad call. But I don't know. I think that the Giants are in better position now to survive a game or two without Andrew Thomas. So if he needs another game or two to heal, let him heal. I don't want them to rush him back and he's injured again. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and one more person, our rookie Abdul Carter, after some promising pressure and special team plays, can he continue to impact versus a tough Cowboys O line?
Well, we
O
kind of talked about that
line,
before,
line.
right? Like,
Yeah,
I think Abdul Carter is a monster. I think that teams are going to quickly find out who he is by his play on the field. I mean, he had some big plays against Washington. He had a tipped punt, blocked punt. He put tremendous pressure on the quarterback at different times of the game. He had a half a sack. I mean, this is his first game as a professional, and he hasn't even gotten rid of all of the nerves of, oh my God, I'm playing in the NFL. Like he's going to Dallas. Dallas is going to be another like Jerry's World type of deal. So he's still going to get go down there and probably have some butterflies. I don't even think he's going to reach his stride until like maybe week 4, week 5 of the season. So yeah, do I think Abdul Carter is going to have an impact? I think he's going to have a major impact. I think he's going to hurt some people's feelings. He's going to have some people running for their lives, and he is going to be an impact player in that game.
yeah. I remember when we went to the draft party, and when we were watching the video. I'm gonna show you guys something. So just pretend the hat was like on a table. He was like, and then he went on stage.
I know he had his ice grill on, his big chain on, like he was popping for sure. I tell you what,
Definitely.
I'm excited about Abdul Carter. I'm excited about his future. I really hope that the Giants play better this week, have a competitive game. I don't want to see Malik Neighbors on the sideline frustrated like he was last week.
Mm-mm.
That was not a good look. I understand his feeling like you just want to win and you want to win bad, but you got to
Yeah,
have a certain
like
posture about yourself, right?
yeah. When I played basketball, my only hope for like that those couple of winter months was to win, and we didn't win one single game. Every time before a game, I would pray and I would wish really hard, and I would say, I hope we'll win this game. And yeah, and then whoever would come would wish me and my team good luck, and yeah.
It's a tough feeling, right? You practice, practice,
Mhm.
practice, prepare, and then
I
the
felt
day
the
of the
same way.
game, it doesn't work out the way you hoped, but you
Yep.
can't allow it to get to you emotionally. You still have to find a way to take some of the bright spots that happen along the way, expand on those, and learn from the things you didn't do well and practice to get better at it, right? So hopefully the Giants are doing that this week. They went back, look at the film, practice, maybe installed some new plays, maybe took some plays out that didn't work well for them, and are ready to put on a better performance this week. So we'll see.
Yeah. So the thing, since we're done with every single thing on this list, um, hold on, I have to sneeze, so I'm gonna mute myself really quickly. Wow. Okay, so, um, I wanted to talk about. So we watched. I know this has
Fix your
nothing.
mic.
I
There
don't
you
know
go.
why I was like that. I'm sorry. Oh yeah, because I sneezed. So I know this had nothing to do with the Giants or like anything we talked about, but me and Dad watched like the one time we watched Cam Ward a little bit, and we were watching like the key plays, like the big plays, and we saw when he was throwing the ball, he waited too long to throw it or run to get like a touchdown or something, and he got tackled twice. The first time
He
he
got
got
sacked.
Yeah, the first time he got sacked, and then the second time he dodged one person coming for him, like Juice, and
Hmm.
the one person fell, and then he didn't know, but another person came around him and then just like jumped on him, and yeah. So he was doing a little. He was a little rough that one game.
Yeah, we were watching Red Zone during the commercial breaks, and yeah, we had that game on because we definitely wanted to see what Cam Ward was going to look like. We also looked at the Broncos. Yeah, it was the Broncos that they played, wasn't it? Broncos looked really good, actually. And then we were looking at Daniel Jones in Indianapolis against Miami. Miami looks bad. And that's coming from a Giants fan to say Miami looks bad. But Miami looked really bad, and Daniel Jones looked really good. And here we are, Giants fans. We let go of Saquon Barkley, went to the Eagles, won a Super Bowl, NFL Offensive Player of the Year. Daniel Jones left the Giants, went to Indianapolis, starting quarterback, broke a record that has stood for decades with the Indianapolis Colts in his first game. Scored 3 touchdowns, 115 passer rating, looked good. Our quarterback had a completion percentage under 50%, no
Yeah,
touchdowns, and a quarterback rating, I think it was like 57 or something like that. What is happening?
he needs to get cut, even though that can't happen anymore. But he should have got cut.
I don't know. Listen, Russell Wilson, it was week 1. I blame this loss for the Giants solely on the shoulders of the coaching staff. Solely on their shoulders. These guys were not prepared for this game. They did not look good. They did not call the right plays. Specifically for Russell Wilson and his stature. He's too short for some of the plays that they were calling. He couldn't even see over the line. That was disappointing. Maybe
Mhm.
if you're going to move to another quarterback, because I still think it's too soon to start Jackson Dart, you move to Jameis Winston. But I don't even want to talk about that till at least week 3 or 4. You need at least, in my opinion, at least 4 games before you're going to make a decision to pull your quarterback. After week 1, it is much too soon to do that. But if you're going to change, don't change to Jackson Dart. Change to Jameis Wilson, because Jameis Wilson will push the ball. Winston can see over the line.
I was like sitting here like thinking, what is he saying? It's like Jameis Wilson.
There's too many of these W's. I don't know. But I think if you're going to make a change, don't go to Jackson Dart yet. Go to Jameis Winston. And then you transition to Dart later in the season. But the season is definitely salvageable. It's only week 1. We're going to get it together. I just want to see watchable football. I don't want to paint my house with Q-tips, but I'd rather do that if it looks this bad next week.
Yeah, but the question is, what color would you paint your house?
Oh, God.
You could repaint the walls, like all the scratches and stuff.
Yeah, well.
I don't know.
We'll see.
There's one thing I wanted to say. Let me try to think. Oh, goodness. Oh, when we went to that practice thing, I should have told the Giants players the name of our podcast.
Which practice? When we went to the training camp.
Yeah, I'm really bummed. I did not do that.
Yeah, well, we did tell one of the Giants personnel about it, Dan Mucha. He's actually our sales rep for our season tickets, and he actually said he watched a couple of the podcasts and thought it was great. So that was pretty cool. Now, I don't know if he shared that internally with some of the people, because I think the podcast is really cool. I think we talk about good content, and it's just a fun thing to do and to see. So maybe he shared it with some other people. We'll see. We do get some good traffic, so
but
he may be one of them.
Every Giants event we go to, every game, anything, I'm going to bring a piece of paper and a marker. And every time I see a Giants play, like if I do, I'm going to rip the paper, then I'm going to write down the name of it and give it to them and tell them, watch this. This is me and my dad's podcast.
Maybe we'll get some cards with a QR code. They just scan it and it brings them right to our podcast. We could do that too.
Yeah, that would be a good idea, actually. If we get a bunch of those, you can give some of them to your friends too.
Yep, absolutely.
And Let's 2 of my friends already watch my podcasts at home, so. Nice.
I think that's it for today, right?
Yeah, this was probably the longest podcast I've ever done. Okay, so I think that's it. So, bye guys. I hope you enjoyed the podcast.
Make sure you like, subscribe, all of that.
Make sure you hit that like button. I'm going to change the notification part up on this one. Make sure you hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, and slap that notification bell so you get notified every time we post or upload a video. Giants, peace.
That's right. Peace, guys. Go Big Blue.
Yeah, a lot of girls probably crying from my old high school. Look, they see me everywhere they go. I probably would too. Look, crossed over to the Jordan man like I'm Michael. Yeah, eating blessings so much I might need lipo. Yeah, tailored for the dogs like I'm walking in chucks. Yeah, it's just in this plan, man, I see all y'all shook. Look, knew that I was great ever since I was a rook. Man, all y'all singles making me look good. Okay, praise to the Most High, yeah, that's Jesus. Look, but when it come to this rap thing, I can't lose. Yeah, back-to-back number ones, that's the thing greats do. Yeah, tell them boys that ain't nothing I can't do. It's my year. It's my year.